I love the name Crimson Eagle. How's it going? Welcome.
Eh, Doing pretty well. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys. Are you going to be the main speaker today?
I guess so. It's kind of a throw me to the wolves type experience, I guess. I think I'll do all right.
All right, man. Well, yeah, no worries. We're pretty friendly here. A good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are, Whale Coin Talk community. My name is Noah. I'm here today with OGSafemoon. Representing their team is Crimson Eagle. Crimson Eagle, before we get started, you want to give us a quick background of yourself and how you found yourself working for the crypto industry or in the crypto industry, excuse me, and for OGSafemoon.
Yeah, I'm kind of an OG from the term that I'm an old guy. Original gangster is kind of a newer term for me, but back in 2019 with the pandemic kicking off and companies doing layoffs and things like that, I had to try to figure out what I was going to do in my spare time. And I started doing investments in stocks. Um, I was aware of crypto. I really hadn't paid attention to it. And part of that's because of my quote, old guy mentality, I guess, which is ironic because I'm a techie by heart. But anyway, when Dogecoin did its thing and went nuts, and then SafeMoon, the original SafeMoon V1 contract, did its crazy thing, I really started paying attention to crypto there. And, it's just been a journey. For people that were new to crypto back in, let's say, March, April 2021, a lot of us, unfortunately, were buying at the all-time highs for practically every token or coin out there, right? And that's been my journey, doing DCA, trying to cost average down on my investments and just waiting patiently. And I always spell that out PAY, patiently, hoping that this thing will get turned around and we'll take off. But I stumbled across OGSafemoon. Frankly, it was a stealth launch. I saw a tweet on Twitter because that's kind of where that's where they started any kind of marketing. And frankly, I just got lucky. I got lucky as heck. And here I am. So that's kind of my journey to what brought me here today. And as far as being a mod, what I do is voluntary for OGSafemoon. We're community driven, and everybody that's doing anything within our token is really, we're just doing it for the love of the token and trying to bring back, earlier days of community within what we call the OGSafemoon. That's what we're just trying to do.
Right on. Well, thank you for that breakdown. And let's get started. I mean, you kind of led into this, but give us a high-level overview. What is OGSafemoon? And you guys are branding yourselves as the future biggest meme token on Binance Smart Chain. But let's dive in. Tell us what you're excited about. Tell us what you guys are doing differently from all the other meme coins out there. And what is the affiliation with SafeMoon? Why did you guys go with that name? So I'll pass the mic to you and let you do your thing.
Well, as far as affiliation, I mean, there is no official affiliation between SafeMoon and OGSafemoon. The name really pretty much came from the concept of wanting to bring back the early vibe of, the SafeMoon V1 army. I mean, they achieved great things when you look back on it. One of the first tokens to have a Twitter following, over 1 million subscribers to their Twitter. Same with their wallet. Once they introduced their wallet, under the direction of the Fudhound, which I know a lot of you folks know him. They had over 1 million downloads pretty quickly. The community was fun back then, a lot of just camaraderie, keeping a positive attitude. So many people were talking about being able to quote unquote live off of reflections, and you don't really hear about any of that anymore now, and I think so just to clear that up, I still hold SafeMoon tokens. I'm a SafeMoon holder. I still believe in their vision for what they're going to do. And again, that's where it comes to patiently waiting. But the founders of OGSafemoon, which are OG Miyagi and OG Jason Voorhees, from conversations that we've had with them, through our Telegram group, it's pretty much seems like they came together to try to bring back the old vibes. That's kind of been missing, at least for a lot of us here recently. And, we wanted something where we could just be positive, build each other up, come together with great ideas. And, they created a token based on that. And they just picked OG for Original Gangster and SafeMoon because that's their passion, was the original Heaven's Gate contract that SafeMoon had launched. And of course, the tokenomics of that original contract were insane. Our tokenomics are not quite that crazy. Actually, our tokenomics are geared toward building the LP and strengthening the floor of our token as it gains LP. And that happens automatically with every transaction.
Okay, so massively community driven, and we can't discount the value of a strong community, strong, tight-knit community, and also a tribute to a relic of the past. And I don't say relic, SafeMoon is still around, but I get where the two come together. You mentioned tokenomics. So at the end of the day, community is important, but tokenomics are also important. Utilities are also important. So let's talk tokenomics, break that down for us, and then give us some utilities, some incentives that people have to buy and hold the token.
Sure. So again, this was just started out as a contract. First of all, the contract is renounced. Okay. We have buy and sell fees that are 5%. You typically have to set a slippage of 6%. It's currently available on PancakeSwap. Some people choose to purchase it through PooCoin. We've also recently listed with Adapt by Affinity. So you're able to acquire it through their app as well. But as far as the breakdown of our tokenomics, with every purchase, sell, or even transfer, 4% goes to the liquidity pool. An interesting little thing is that the LP started at 1 BNB, and currently, and you might be looking at this on a different screen, I can bring it up as well, but we're currently setting at 184.5 BNB in our liquidity. So we've come quite a long ways in about a month and a half as far as that goes. The coolest thing is even when we have, people, when we hit a downtrend like the whole market has here in the last 24 to 36 hours, we're able to go back and see where, because of the way the tokenomics work, our LP builds and it's stronger even at lower market caps than before. We're currently sitting at a $1 million market cap. Earlier today, I kid you not, we were down to 850,000 because some people were taking profit. There might have been some fear in the water, who knows, but the resiliency of our community, we're back up to $1 million market cap. And we believe that, this is still early days as far as that goes. Now, as far as the rest of the tokenomics, 0.5% goes to burn. And then another 0.5% is reflections. And again, everybody's pretty much familiar with that. Reflections are based off volume of the token. Our 24-hour volume right now is sitting at about 27,000. I think our high volume for any particular given day has been around 45,000. I don't actually know that for sure, but we've done fairly well. As far as utility, honestly, there isn't a whole lot right now. Because again, this was created to be a meme with a dream. Next BSC gem to hit $1 billion plus market cap. And honestly, we've seen meme tokens do that. Shiba Inu's done it. Dogecoin's done it. It's kind of crazy. There doesn't necessarily have to be utility for a token to go crazy. However, there are plans. One of those plans is called Alnots. And what Alnots are is an NFT collection that's been created. It's not available yet. They're finishing up things on the back end. but they're going to be 3,232 unique Alnauts NFTs. If you're on Twitter and you go to the @Alnauts Twitter tag, you can see some examples of that, or even in our Telegram group. If you're in our Telegram group, you can see examples of that in the media. The stuff's pretty cool. The big thing with Alnauts is when those do launch and are sold, sorry about that, lost my train of thought there. The revenue and or profits from that are going to go to buyback and burn of the OGSafemoon token. Other than that, there is some talk about a DEX in the future and possibly also creating a DAO. And the biggest reason for the DAO would be to have voting privileges for community members. Right now, for example, we have a marketing wallet, but that's a community volunteer wallet. If people want to donate to that, they can. If they don't, that's cool. We just move along one day at a time, trying to help each other out.
So I would say with meme tokens like Doge or even Shiba, if Donut was here right now, he would say first to market. I call it first mover's advantage. So even though those ecosystems don't really have any utilities, they were kind of the first of their kind. And now we have, I would argue that the industry is saturated with meme tokens. I'm not discounting or bashing your community. I'm kind of just playing devil's advocate here. But I'm curious to know what some ways, I understand that you guys don't have utilities and I appreciate the transparency, but even so, how are you marketing yourselves and distinguishing yourselves? And at the end of the day, you need to grow the community in order to, I guess, grow the token holder base. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around how you guys are distinguishing yourselves in an industry with, in my opinion, a few too many meme tokens.
Well, that's a fair question. And I guess really all I can say to that is, as far as what we've been doing is mostly organic. I mean, you see us on Twitter quite a bit. As far as getting the word out about OGSafemoon, we interact with folks like I mentioned the Fudhound earlier. He was interacting with us for a bit here just recently. We've had some interactions from even CZ himself where he's liked some of the tweets. And I don't have any of this stuff in front of me right offhand. So I obviously don't want to mislead anybody. But some of that has happened. I'm pretty sure we've got screenshots of it again in our media, on our Telegram page. We've done some giveaways. In fact, one thing that we're doing right now, is kind of a gesture of goodwill to the SafeMoon army, is that any holder of SafeMoon V2 tokens, they can send a DM to @OGSafemoon on Twitter and say, hey, I've got SafeMoon V2 tokens. This is how many. This is my 0x address. Co-founders, they'll take that 0x. They'll go in and confirm that there are, in fact, V2 SafeMoon tokens, and they'll match that one for one. So, we've had people get upwards of, I've seen one example where I think one person got like 25 million OGSafemoon tokens. That's something that we're doing as a goodwill gesture to them, because again, we want to build our community. We want it to be about positive vibes, and we just want there to be unity within DeFi. I mentioned the marketing wallet. Most of our marketing before the marketing wallet was just all organic. We've got YouTube personalities like Brand Shingleton, Free Lunch, Brocolio, Confirmment, Comet Scribbles. These are all, YouTube personalities that have done videos for the OGSafemoon token. But, most of them are also holders. So they do it for the love of the token, Now, once we created the marketing wallet, then that led to some paid promotions. Stephen Clark is a YouTube personality a lot of folks know. Squid Grow Joe, he's done some videos for us, and then we've also got TikTok personalities. The guy that's probably most active on TikTok is HD Crypto, and that's with an underscore between HD and crypto. OGSafemoon Benny, and then Crypto King Lewis. So again, we've had some of that. And then in the NFT realm, we actually have some fan art, where again on Twitter it's hashtag OGSafemoon Owls, and those are not the Owlnot NFTs. I just need to be clear about that. It's fan art, but again, that's where people are getting out. They're excited. We've had people making memes, people making GIFs, which then helps us also with our marketing, because we've got things that are just going on. Also, then we were doing AMAs. We did an AMA the other day with RocketFi. And then here we are with you guys today, and we'll probably be doing more AMAs as we progress down the road.
Throughout all the AMAs you've done, what are some of the more interesting or surprising questions that you've received?
Well, we've only really done the one with RocketFi, to be honest with you. I was actually at work that day. I was able to get on a break where I could listen in. And honestly, and I'll just go straight to this one, we've had people say, what about your, wallets, the top, let's say top 5 holders, the top 10 holders, etc. And probably it wasn't even a surprise question because we've been dealing with it on Twitter, but there's some concern that the co-founders have, roughly, let's say 18, 19% of the circulating supply in their wallets, and people have said, why, aren't you afraid they're going to dump on you? Aren't you afraid they're going to, crash the chart, et cetera, et cetera? And my only answer to that has always been that through communications that we've had with them, their indication is that those tokens will be used long-term to help build the community, help build the token, help bring utility about. And I mentioned the DEX earlier. I mentioned, a possibility of a DAO. Things like that take resources, And so then that sprung a secondary question where they said, well, why would they give themselves that many tokens? Well, honestly, on day one, if you knew about it, we have one investor that spent, I'm going to say about $450 because I don't know the exact amount. And that person ended up with 62 trillion tokens. That was more than the founders had each, Now that particular whale has been crazy generous, giving away tokens to friends, people in the SafeMoon army that they'd reached out to try to say, hey, you always had my back when we went through these tougher times, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to give you some tokens. Some people accepted those and were thankful. And other people said, you know what, I'll stay away. And I'm just being transparent. We got nothing to hide, Now Miyagi and Jason, we started with one BNB in the LP. So let's say $300 and $700 in market cap. So if you take those sums, that's $1,000. If you'd split that between those two, because I'm sure they're the ones that came up with the money to seed it, and it wasn't a lot. We know that. We started very humbly, but if you take that 500 and split it, that 1,000 and split it in two, they technically would have had more than 50 trillion tokens each. And to date, they've shown that they have the best interest of the community at heart. And there's been movement in the upper 10 wallets. Things are thinning out slowly over time. People are taking profits. But you know what? I think that's pretty cool because other than finding a pump, to scalp it or maybe even swing trade it, a lot of people are down. And we have people that are making money. The token and the way the tokenomics are set up with the lower fees actually make it ideal for trading. And I think that'll prove out long term. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean, just by talking to you and listening to you, and this is not financial advice for anyone, but just it seems like you guys are a group of builders and enthusiasts. You're building a community.
you're pursuing initiatives in order to do that, and I don't know, you seem pretty genuine. So I don't particularly have any reservations or any negative thoughts about you guys, apart from there being too many meme tokens in the industry. But at the same time, I don't, it sounds like you have a tight knit group of people working towards something you're all passionate about, and that's fun. That's fine. I don't see any problem with that. You did mention a DAO, and the DAO is a potential DAO or potential DEX. I'd be curious to know, one, what would the DAO vote on? And then two, what is the benefit of launching your own DEX? And I will add one more thing to that. There's so many DEXs in the industry at this point as well, that when people say, "Oh, we're going to do our own DEX," I sometimes scratch my head, wonder why.
Yeah, that's a valid point. And again, I'm just trying to answer your questions. I don't know. We don't have a white paper, okay, as far as where we're trying to get to. Now, Alnots has a white paper, and that is such a simple white paper. It's like, we're going to make them, we're going to list them, we're going to list them on NFT key, and we're going to use money for buyback and burn. I mean, that's pretty much all that white paper is. I'm going to back up just a little bit, because we really kind of just got into it. But, first, thanks for affording us this opportunity. It's awesome to be on here. That we've got 280 people online listening. Just want to thank you all for being here, man. It's awesome. Our token was launched October 1st. So again, I've already said that about 5.5 weeks ago on the Binance Smart Chain. With the way things have been unwrapping here the last 2 days, I mean, there's been a lot of blood in the streets, and you all know what I mean by that. I personally believe that Binance and the Binance Smart Chain is going to come out stronger than ever. And some people, you're already seeing FUD. It's funny how people will put out headlines to make something that is good look bad. But people are already saying, "Oh, Binance backed out on FTX." Well, that's a FUD headline. It's weird. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. We have a slogan that, look, we're not a tech company. We're a meme token. Nothing more, nothing less. We have a big dream, and we've already talked about that, and it's to reach $1 billion plus market cap. So again, hence we have a secondary slogan that's, we're a meme with a dream. We've boldly stated on our website that the goal of OGSafemoon is to bring an opportunity for life-changing money for millions of investors, not just a core group of people, but millions of investors. Now, again, you already said it. Nothing that I share today is financial advice, and people should always do their own research and due diligence. It's way better to do that than to have FTX was huge name. And now it's coming out that they're mishandling people's funds. Well, our contract is renounced. So we can't go in and squirrel away anything to change anything. The contract's fixed. We did an audit, and some people have said, "Well, why did you do an audit if your contract's renounced?" Well, again, it's to build good faith in the community. Some people are still so new into investing, they don't understand what Pancake Swap is. They don't understand what PooCoin is. I remember it took me almost a week and a half to figure out how to do all that stuff a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It was nuts. So we're trying to be transparent. We're trying to help people understand what's going on. And to me, when you can start a brand new meme token, whether it's saturated or not, if you can start out with $700 in the market cap and within a month and a half exceed $1 million, people are looking for that. I think people are looking for some quote unquote normalcy, that, hey, if I invest and, this thing gets going. I mean, we talk about Shiba Inu, probably the greatest meme token as far as community goes. And that's not to say there aren't other great ones, but Shiba Inu is huge, but yeah, I mean, if we hit that kind of market cap, a Dogecoin market cap, the reflections alone, people could potentially live off of that. And I don't have any, we don't have a Moon Mark or DeFi Mark, same guy, that's done any really cool videos for us. It'd be awesome if he would pop in and say, hey man, you guys are awesome. I want to help out. And that's just a shameless plug, I guess, because he doesn't know me from Adam. And, I think, again, we've got our slogan, I am dev, you are dev, we are all dev. The success of our token is going to be tied directly to the community engagement. And we've already talked about quite a bit of that. So again, I just appreciate that you've let us come on here. It's been really awesome. I'll answer any questions I can to the best of my ability.
Right on. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and I certainly appreciate the transparency. It sounds like you guys aren't, again, this is just my anecdotal analysis based on everything that you've told me. And it sounds like you guys are genuine and having fun and trying to build something that could reward your community down the line. I don't see anything wrong with that. Well, I guess I would say that with disclosure that this is not financial advice and do your own research. I'm not big into tokens, but go ahead.
No, exactly. I mean, you're exactly right. Another question we've got in the past is, what about, are you guys listed on CoinMarketCap? Or are you listed on CoinGecko? All I can say there is applications have been submitted. We're trying to be responsible with the funds of the community. I understand that there are people that, you can quote unquote pay that, somehow can help you, squeeze into those listings quicker. Our attitude is that we're going to build our community. We're going to build our token, and they'll have to notice us sooner or later. We engage with them on Twitter with tags. We try to do it in a way that's respectful and not spam them, but also, I got 281 participants listening to me right now. And I'll just say this again, shamelessly, if any of you have the clout to help us get those listings quicker, that'd be awesome. Again, we're just trying to grow as a community, have a good time, and, take it to the next level.
Right on. So we have a few minutes left in the AMA. If anyone wants to ask any questions, feel free to raise your hand. And Crimson Eagle, for those that are joining in a bit late, do you want to give us a quick recap of who you guys are, what you're building, your value prop, and why people should take some time and have a look at the OGSafemoon community?
Yeah, I can do that again. That's no issue. I'm glad to repeat it as many times as people want to hear it. So again, OGSafemoon by @OGSafemoon on Twitter. That's where you can find it. Find them. We're a BSC gem. Launched on October 1st, which is about 5.5 weeks ago. We started with 1 BNB in the LP, $700 in the market cap. And again, if I go to the chart, currently looks like we've got about 184, 185 BNB in the LP. That liquidity is locked. I didn't mention that earlier. And then we also now are at $1 million market cap. At our all-time high, we were at 1.4. We're actually down a bit, but everybody's down a bit. Our resiliency is shown. If you look at our charts, I love Dex Screener. That's what I use. I guess that's a shout out for them, but I love their charting. I think it's awesome. I can scroll all the way. I'm on the 1 hour chart right now, looking at it from day one, up, down, back up, then down, then up. And right now we've got support at our previous all-time high. So, we're sitting pretty well as far as that goes. We've got a community of about 600 members in Telegram. As far as Twitter, I think we're up in the 900 range. I can go look at that real quick. As far as, followers, we feel like as far as the number of investors, let me look at that real quick. Looks like we're sitting at 861 addresses. We're trying to get to 1,000. We feel like that's a pretty important milepost to hit. I mentioned the burn wallet. We burned 50% of the supply on day one, and some people will go into the BSC scan and see that it just says 500 trillion and it's not changing. Well, if you click on the null address, you'll see that it is actually changing as far as that goes. Also, BSC scan is where people can look at the the top wallets. And again, when you the number 2 and number 3 wallets are the co-founder wallets. We're not trying to hide it. People, again, I addressed this a little bit ago as far as why so much. Well, they want to grow the community. They want to grow the token. And so far, they've proven that to be accurate, and we trust them. That's all I'm going to say about that. As far as some people are like, well, what about your contract? Again, I've said it's renounced. If you use the token sniffer tool that's on Deck Screener, we actually come back with a score of 80 out of 100. And the only thing that we get dinged on, which I'm not quite sure about, or even how to address it, is it says all other holders possess less than 5% of the circulating supply. And according to Token Sniffer, that's not true. But again, if you look at BSC scan, that is true. So it's just kind of an anomaly, I suppose. But again, 80 out of 100 is a pretty dang good score. Also, just to address, when people ask about why the co-founders hold so many, there's another project. It's a swap partner. That's all I'm going to say about that. But currently, their number 1 wallet holds 52.5% of the total supply. That's quite a bit. Now, again, as far as looking at what that wallet's done, they've been doing giveaways. They've been, spreading the love. That's what our founders have done. So our goal is ambitious. Go ahead.
No. Please finish your closing statement.
Yeah, our goal is ambitious. It takes community to get a token like ours to the goals that we have. We want to have fun along the way. I've already made more friends in this community than I had in 2 years with the original SafeMoon army. And part of that was, honestly, I came in a little late. Like I said, I bought it pretty close to the dang ATH of SafeMoon before they migrated to V2. And now there's a lot of I don't mean this derogatorily, but there's a lot of cliques within the V2 army where if you're not part of that, they don't really chat with you very much. And if you don't have a rapport, it's just hard to get that going. Whereas with our community right now, people are coming in every day and they're able to just fold right on into the community, feel like they're part of something that's got a lot of potential and growth. And I think that's what sparks the excitement. And even on down days, like, the last, let's say 36 hours, our community has been positive, and it's just really refreshing.
Put, I love the closing statements. Crimson Eagle, thank you so much for being with us today. Whalecoin Talk community, thank you for listening. Remember that everything you hear on this broadcast is for educational purposes only. Do your own research and stay safe out there.
Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Crimson. Take care.